I'm Julian Crouch here at the Public doing a musical called Goddess, and I am the puppet designer. You know, the story, it's sort of like a nightclub, but it's on an ancient mythological ground. And so I got the feeling that I was trying to make things that were like they'd been dug up from the ground, but hopefully spiritual. I latched onto this thing that an ensemble is telling a story, it's all about storytelling. And the ensemble is telling an ancient story. So that was kind of my area of safety and excitement, was knowing, oh, people are just telling this story, so they can pick up something and tell a story. You don't want to kind of be in a position where you're competing with nature. You somehow have to find a place that taps into the audience's imagination. You're maybe doing like 50% of the work and they're doing 50% of the work. I really didn't want that kind of feeling of, oh, here comes the puppet. I'm interested in how little you need in the audience to see a character. I think in some ways the story is set up for that. You know, the very nature of the story is kind of set up to make that possible. So it's very integrated, and that's nice. So I'm not actually even really designing, so I'm not drawing anything at any point. I'm just going straight into the making to make a kit of stuff, knowing that some of it will get kicked out. I was in that lucky position where they set me free to make things that they then, I suppose, chose from. I made some arms. I made some things that threw out, like pincers. You know, you see at one point, it kind of looks almost like a spider. I made some things that were maybe more of that world. You know, I brought in a lot of cloth and a lot of baskets and a lot of grass sweeping things, camouflage netting. You know, I brought in a lot of stuff to play with. And for me, I was lucky. It's where I kind of like to be, where there weren't so many demands, so I kind of got to play. I mean, what's nice is that it can change, and it could. I like the fact that it's different every time, because as soon as you have like, I suppose, 6 people holding something together, they're never going to be in exactly the same place again. And you can drill bits of it, but accidents will always happen, and some of them will be fortuitous. Some of the accidents will be better than anything that you've consciously planned, you know. Puppet designer is my official thing. I wasn't sure they wanted me to direct anything or not, but you know, Darrell is so great, and Abdur and Saheem, that now we're all directing the puppets all at the same time. But it's exciting and fun, you know. You can't really plan it, you don't really know what's going to work, but it's very clear when it is working, when you go, oh, that worked, I felt something. You can't really plan for that. You do your best to create the right situation for that to happen, with the right things and the right people. But it's hard to plan. It's mostly a case of waiting to see what works. But it always interests me how clear it is when it's working. Everyone agrees it's working.